You know, I keep coming back to a quote that Lloyd Blankfein, formerly of Goldman, gave to Time last month. He said, the unpredictability of the Trump White House has made enough people's heads spin where it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Is that a fair framing, you think?
Well, I think that Trump does stand for certain principles that he has been consistent with all along. But it's certainly true that you see reversals from time to time, and you see these commentaries that he makes on the campaign trail. Even just, I was listening to Sue just now talking about firing Fauci, that while not entirely surprising, there's been tension between him and Dr. Fauci for a while now. Something that might start as an offhand comment can become a mantra and ultimately policy. So yes, I think there's certainly a degree of unpredictability there.
Do you think that explains, the president has attacked Biden as both a socialist puppet, but also a Wall Street puppet. There's been a lot of attention paid to the amount of money Biden raised from the street. Why would the street do that, knowing the possibility, I'm not saying of Elizabeth Warren running Treasury, but certainly, say, a Treasury Secretary or an SEC chief that runs to the left of what we have now?
You know, it's an interesting question, Carl, and I did a story on this back in August. To my surprise, Wall Street donors, I'm talking about not just business leaders at hedge funds, private equity, asset management, banks, and more, but sort of rank and file employees whose donations are recorded publicly, supported Biden versus Trump by a large measure. I believe it was 5-1 by one count by the Center for Responsive Politics. And also in terms of the big donors, a lot of Wall Street major donors were giving millions to Biden and other Democrats. I heard several different reasons for that. One was that essentially on the social issues, right, on some of the policies that matter to many in the financial world, they just leaned more Biden than Trump. Another was concerns about COVID and Trump's handling of COVID and what it would mean for people on a human level, as well as, off and on the economy as we work our way through this. Others talked about issues like national security and so on. I think one interesting thing, Carl, that the markets have been grappling with a little bit and earlier on were positive about was the idea that Biden was going to pass a massive government stimulus for infrastructure spending, green jobs, and other things that would be stimulative, and that his financial regulations would not be as harsh on the business or as sweeping as you said, a Senator Warren or other more progressive candidates might be. Even his tax plan is a little more moderate than I think many were expecting, and certainly more moderate than some of his progressive counterparts from the primary.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.